evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the HarlequinCoHO Invitational Tournament, round of 8. This is going to be Game 3 and a best of 3 between AirTaylor and CryptoN. Yes, that's right. That means this is an ace match. The winner of this game will move on to the semifinals. So, since the score is tied 1-1, we looked at the victory points in order to determine who would be doing what here. So, AirTaylor got to pick the map since he lost the last game, and since his 500 victory points were more than CryptoN's 487 victory points, AirTaylor also got to choose his faction. So let's go ahead, get this replay started, and see where things are at here. So in the upper position, we have AirTaylor playing once again as his airborne commander. You can see, just to recap on all this, he has airdrop smoke, air reconnaissance, airborne paradrops, supply drops, and strafing run. Meanwhile, on the southern side of the map, CryptoN will be playing as his blitzkrieg commander. And again, to recap here, you can see he has infantry pillage, flares, stormtroopers, manpower blitz, and heavy armor support. The map is, of course, Langres, which was chosen by AirTaylor, and we're going to have a very similar game to the first game. So let's take a look around the map right now and see what we've got going on here. So Pioneers just finishing the Wehrmacht quarters, and it looks like, could it be close combat Volks coming out first here for CryptoN. Meanwhile, I'm going to take a peek up here at AirTaylor. AirTaylor getting what looks like standard riflemen right now. So right now, both players just kind of capping along both sides of their base. Kind of a standard opening here. You can see just kind of grabbing the stuff immediately adjacent to their base. Now spreading out a little bit further here with these field Pioneers by CryptoN. So I'm curious to see what he's going to be doing with these close combat Volksgrenadiers right away, and if anybody's going to try and lash out and take deeper positions on this map, because sometimes that's a popular strategy out there. Here we have our regular old riflemen coming out by AirTaylor. You can see that these riflemen have 9% accuracy, 6% armor, and 30% increased sight range. I really do like that sight range bonus. Meanwhile, it looks like these field Pioneers laying some crippling traps. This is always a juicy munition point to try and hold on to, so looks like he's going to guard that. Meanwhile, these riflemen advancing towards the center here for AirTaylor. So on the other side, just kind of standard capping kind of going on in all places. And I'd like to take this moment, by the way, to give a shout out, of course, to ZenMagnets.com, providing prizes to our top 4 players out there. So if you like these games, please go ahead and stop by and say hello and thank them for helping out here. And you can see it looks like AirTaylor being really aggressive, coming deep into CryptoN's territory here, finding a crippling trap though. Oh, and it looks like getting pinned a little bit there. That'll delay him slightly, but these field Pioneers here are going to have to beat a hasty retreat. So nice aggressive opening play here by AirTaylor, just kind of capping this far up munitions point here and keeping that away from CryptoN. Meanwhile, we do have a second rifleman squad moving out on the field here by AirTaylor, and looks like his engineers just capping this fuel point. So some kind of aggressive caps here early on. Looks like the field Pioneers here from CryptoN just trying to make the most use of their time, capping this victory point on the other side right now. So victory point is tied right now, 1-1, but you can see that it looks like CryptoN lost a little bit of victory points just during that interim there. Nothing too much, just 5. And we have a bit of a gun battle going on here. These guys all behind, relatively equal cover, but a lot of times Pioneers seem to just kind of do better versus Engineers early game. But doesn't matter. We do have a flank coming in here by AirTaylor's second squad of riflemen, picking off one of those Pioneers and now backing away here. Plain squad of Volksgrenadiers out for CryptoN, by the way, does have 30% cheaper reinforcement costs, 9% accuracy, and 16% increased squad health. Meanwhile, riflemen just kind of moving around in the middle. Looks like I would have expected him to try and cap some of that, but it looks like he's pretty much just kind of repositioning on the field here. Another point-blank gun battle going on, and it looks like the Engineers are taking the first casualties, and these field Pioneers are probably going to be able to beat them here in close combat. But we'll tune into that in a sec. We do have some more motion happening on the field right now. Close combat Volks right now engaging these riflemen. These riflemen got to be real careful. Close combat Volksgrenadiers just do terrific damage at that kind of range. Meanwhile, it looks like being backed up by a bunch of other riflemen. Meanwhile, this first squad of riflemen just kind of holding their own in the house, and it looks like that house did provide enough cover. Meanwhile, down here in the south, the sprinting Fatherland HMG team could just come charging on out here, getting that nice increased movement speed bonus for being in friendly territory, and just setting up in a nice little tricky position here. So, meanwhile, close combat Volksgrenadiers falling back a little bit, rifleman squads all over the place. And since I haven't yet, let me just go ahead and take a look at the mini-map, just to kind of give you guys an idea where everything is headed so far. So, just kind of distribution of troops. More or less an even 50-50 split there, but I do hear the pleasant jingle of a 5-line HMG team opening fire like crazy now, and it looks like we do have a Wilson's Rifleman on the Wilson's Rifleman squad on the field. Smoke being deployed onto the 5-line HMG team, removing their cover bonuses and slowing them down, and just a wonderful looking flank right now by AirTaylor. AirTaylor charging in, you can see putting a lot of fire into these 5-line HMG teams. They are not retreating, they are just running away at full speed, and CryptoN covering that flank again by moving on up here with the close combat Volks and the regular Volks Grenadier squad. So basically nobody really gained anything from that, but it was just a smart kind of attack by both players. It looked like AirTaylor being really aggressive and CryptoN having the exact right response, which is to retreat some units and move in with the rest. So kind of nothing gained there, but looks like this engineer squad is taking a casualty here. I wonder if he's going to be retreating anytime soon. Meanwhile, these riflemen still coming in here, really being annoying. You can see just taking out this munitions point and just kind of removing that from the equation. Once again, we do have the pleasant rat-a-tat of this 5-line HMG team kind of laying into the building right now, which definitely has Wilson's Rifleman in it. It looks like they've taken a single casualty. Wilson's Rifleman, of course, has Bazooka Joe and starts with a Browning automatic rifle. Can throw hand grenades. Fun squad. But just kind of a little bit of just kind of stalling tactics going on here at the meantime. It looks like Wilson's just kind of buying some time for AirTaylor to kind of make up his mind what he wants to do here. A little bit of long-range shooting going on here between this Rifleman squad and this Volks Grenadier squad. But again, nothing really gained by either player there. Now could be that AirTaylor is moving in here with a nice-looking flank, trying to capture that strategic point, but that's definitely not going to happen. 5-line HMG team repositioning, and the close combat Volks Grenadier is just kind of guarding that area. You can see once again this munitions point was captured, and those riflemen then moved on over here to take out this fuel depot. So really good map control going on right now for AirTaylor, just in the sense that he has he's in possession of a lot of strategic points that should otherwise belong to CryptoN in a fair game. CryptoN has extended up here a little bit and grabbed this munitions point, and he does have the asymmetrical fuel point right here in the middle, so it's not too bad, but it is going to be 3 fuel to 2 fuel. And just in case any of you were worried about this, once again, as a reminder, I did ask both players to submit me the replays, and I chose one of them at random. So in case you think you see anything that's a spoiler alert, don't worry about it. I picked the replays at random, regardless of who won. So Riflemen right now just kind of engaging in some light fire. You can see they do outrange these close combat Volks Grenadiers. Looks like CryptoN might not be aware that that unit is under fire at the moment, because they're just kind of taking shots right now needlessly. Meanwhile, up here we do have this kind of wounded rifleman squad. You can see, look at that, it's only at like 30% health with 5 gentlemen left in that squad. And we do have some defensive mines being laid here by AirTaylor's engineers. And note, by the way, those engineers do already have minesweepers out, so he is on the lookout here for any sort of mines in back territory. And check it out, the fast armored Greyhound. Haven't even had a chance really to look at the build orders of the bases, but you can see he went straight for a supply yard, then got a motor pool, and then got a Greyhound, and is now double upgrading it with armored skirts and 50 caliber machine gun. This is pretty much very standard opening fast M8 Greyhound, but as you can see on this side of the field, the timing just works out really well for both players. CryptoN has already got his Krieg barracks up and has got his first Blitz anti-tank gun already on the field right now. So just kind of a classic timing here in Axis versus Allies. Fast Greyhound meets fast anti-tank gun. So you can see this anti-tank gun positioning itself very nicely. The troops very intentionally falling back, trying to kind of bait that thing into its range here. But you can tell AirTaylor's not new to this game at all. He knows that there's probably an anti-tank gun somewhere out here. And of course, the German anti-tank guns can fire while cloaked. The Blitz anti-tank gun in particular can fire thrice while cloaked and without revealing its position. So very tricky anti-tank gun to deal with early game there. Looks like we got a little bit more combat going on here. A single kill here for this Greyhound armored car. And we did have a little bit of a back cap. I'm guessing the riflemen were able to take out this victory point at some point in the past there, but it looks like CryptoN is now recovering it. So really strong kind of attack going on here over onto the left-hand side of the field right now. You can see that AirTaylor has got pretty good control over the middle. He does control the middle victory point, so CryptoN is now bleeding out. It's 500 to 442. And his second Greyhound is on the field right now. So this is a smart move because he knows that his Greyhounds were last spotted on the right-hand side of the map. He can very safely attack down here for a little while with this Greyhound without having to worry about a Blitz anti-tank gun sneaking up on him. He did just scout over this area. I'm not sure if he saw this anti-tank gun or not with his scout plane. No, it looks like that scout plane is a little bit too south. But what he does know is that there's no anti-tank guns on this side of the map right now. So just kind of poking around. It looks like he's not wanting to commit too heavily to anything. But he is taking out that southern victory point, giving him yet another 3-cap. And there's the first shot from that Blitz anti-tank gun. You can see still cloaked. Second shot hitting that Greyhound rear armor there that time, doing a lot of extra damage. And that Greyhound is definitely glad that it has the armored skirts up, but you can see very quickly getting repaired by 2 squads of engineers, one with a minesweeper and one with a flamethrower. So second Greyhound armored car now moving in, taking some shots, kind of guessing where this anti-tank gun is, but you can see immediately taking a front armor hit there and just kind of having a backup from behind this building. So looks like this anti-tank gun alone is just kind of keeping AirTaylor at bay right now. Meanwhile, the close combat Volks are recapturing this victory point. And we do have the upgrade now, so 2 upgraded Greyhounds. By the way, just to point out the army items as I see them, Greyhound armored cars have 24% increased max health for AirTaylor there. Let's see, Fatherland, HMG team, Field Pioneers. So really just kind of hanging out in the center right now. AirTaylor has definite map control at this point. He's very mobile. You can see he's just all over the map right now. I really love how just kind of bold he is with this Greyhound armored car. You know, he's just kind of moving all over the place. But check it out, CryptoN has laid a nice little just surprise of mines just kind of all along here. So he does have to be aware of that. I have seen minesweepers out there before, but I believe that they are all kind of up here in the north right now. So meanwhile, just a lot of shooting back and forth happening over here in the central area. You can see, by the way, that AirTaylor also just went and got Browning automatic rifles as soon as he got his Greyhounds out. So he rushed for fast Greyhounds and then got the Brownings out there. So just kind of looks like putting some pressure on this machine gun team, but no, he fell for the bait. Anti-tank gun now pegging away at that thing. Look at that, killing the gunner. Gunner has to eject. Oh no, almost down to like 10% health, 5% health there, and he just gets out of the way of that anti-tank gun. Second anti-tank gun also in the field right now for CryptoN. I'm going to go ahead and swap the map on over to CryptoN's point of view for just a little while here so we can keep track of him. You can see he has fired up infantry pillage while all that was going on, maybe perhaps hoping to get some kills, but you can see just kind of backing away with these close combat folks over here on the left. So looks like AirTaylor is doing a really good job of keeping CryptoN busy in the central part of the map here, so that CryptoN really never has any time to attack over there on the left where his victory point that should be his is being taken out there. So you can see looks like this infantry pillage now activated, giving a little bit of manpower and munitions every time he gets a kill, but more importantly, most of the time, it's actually providing a light healing too whenever they get a kill. Greyhound armor car now moving in, looks like might just take some pot shots here. Nope, not quite yet, but we do have here's just a regular old anti-tank gun moving up. So really good anti-tank gun coverage just kind of all over the place here. Let's take a look back at CryptoN's base right now. You will see he does have a Kampfkraft center up. And he was just building another heavy machine gun team. So Grenadiers on the field. Grenadiers, by the way, 6% armor and 30% reinforcement costs. And just firing back and forth here. You can see these heavy machine guns do a great job of just kind of keeping AirTaylor's units out of the center so far. Meanwhile, the Greyhound armored cars can't really do anything. They want to get in a little bit closer, but these anti-tank guns are just providing great cover. You can see, once again, scouting this side of the map to see what's going on here. Greyhound armored car, assured that there is no anti-tank gun presence in this side of the map, is now moving on out here and just kind of putting some pressure, light pressure at least, guarding that munitions point. It's very important to hold on to stuff like that because it should definitely be under CryptoN's territory here. Both these two munitions points kind of mirror each other. You can see right now that the Greyhound armored car is coming on in, putting some pressure on all of these close combat Volksgrenadiers who are now forced to retreat and just kind of scaring him out of there. So that is not his victory point, but it is 2 victory points right now up for CryptoN. So CryptoN is now stabilized at 317, 493, and counting for AirTaylor. So AirTaylor now looks like he has kind of coalesced into a large attack force over here on the right. We do have Flare going down, revealing all of their armor, but he has likewise dropped smoke in this area as well, slowing down and just kind of revealing this heavy machine gun team. Looks like kind of bumbling around here, though. Not sure where exactly he's attacking. He definitely knows that there's going to be an anti-tank gun around there someplace.